WWE Hall of Famer Ricky Morton of the Rock and Roll Express talks with Kevin Sullivan about the Honky Tonk Man and Mick Foley. The full episode, download it now at rickymortononline.com, episode 4. I understand, and I've seen some footage along the way of you working with the Honky Tonk Man, Wayne Ferris.
Get me somebody out here to wrestle, I don't care who it is.
You got him.
Oh, so I just wondered if you had anything you wanted to share about how the crowd reacted to him at that time, maybe the heat you had, and Jimmy Hart's component of the equation.
We had heat because I got in there and the town was not doing well. I was recruited from Atlanta. I was working for Jim Barnett in a great position. I had turned from babyface to heel against Tony Atlas, who was my partner. And Jared had come to the show and he saw my match and he asked Jim, could he take me? Jim said, well, ask Kevin. And I went and I saw what the houses were and I saw the matches. Lawler and Dundee were baby faces and they were beating everybody. And then I looked at the card and every baby face got beat except me. And I went to Lawler and Jared, I said, I got to go. He said, why? I said, you're not going to draw a dime. And no disrespect for Lawler and Dundee, but they've been for years heel, babyface, but always going over. And we drew about $11,000 in Memphis. He said, well, what would you do? I said, next week, I'd have Jimmy Hart wrestle Jerry Lawler for the Southern Heavyweight belt with Lawler with boxing gloves and me and Ferris as the two special referees. I beat every babyface on this card and not just beat them, I would destroy them. So that week we did it and the house jumped a little, like to 15 because they thought Lawler was going to beat Jimmy. And I'll never forget, Bill Dundee came in the dressing room and looked at me and said, well, you just killed the territory. The next week we did $37,000.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was because we beat Dundee and Lawler. And now they had something to fight for. And then when Jimmy put the first family together, it meant something. Wayne was very good at that time. Yeah, I enjoyed work for Wayne.
One of my favorites to watch even until this day. During your time with WCW, specifically, I want you to share some memories of your time with Cactus Jack Mick Foley and some of the other folks that you were around that same period.
Cactus was great. Him and I were tag team partners, and then I had Buzz Sawyer, who was as legit as, the day is long. But then when I got involved in the Hogan thing, I felt like a clown coming out of the clown car, but I was doing it for a reason because all these guys were his friends and he felt comfortable working with them. And I knew I had to turn him heel. I kept him at my house the night he turned heel, and I waited till the third match was on before we drove to the building when he turned heel. But I mean, you looking back at that Cactus Jack, I never thought he'd become the star he was. It was a great, great era, but I'm not trying to kiss Punky's ass, but, they don't make many Punky Mortons.